612 ABC Radio Brisbane and Queensland. On air and streaming on the ABC Listen app.
This is Kat Feeney.
Well, when do you plan to retire? The average age of retirement in Australia has been on a steady rise for decades. The current average age sits around 57 years of age. But how much money do you need to retire today? Well, recent reports from the Association of Superannuation Funds of Australia shows that it now costs a whopping $75,319 annually for a couple to live comfortably in retirement. For more, you're joined by financial planner Phil McGann. Phil, just to be clear, the term comfortable retirement, what does that actually mean?
It's obviously very subjective, put out by the association, and what they mean by a comfortable retirement comes down to a certain standard. And what they're saying there is that they feel that someone in a comfortable retirement owns their own home. They actually have high healthcare cover. They have a reasonable car. They have regular leisure activities, occasional restaurant meal out, holiday locally, and only a holiday overseas once every 7 years. So nothing extravagant.
Okay.
But the big thing there for me is you've got to own your own home.
Yes.
That's a big part of it.
Okay. Now, leaving that aside just for the moment, that figure is $13,000 more than it was from the same report just 5 years ago.
5 years ago.
So that's inflation?
Very much inflation. So it's jumped up quite a lot in that period of time. So it's actually jumped up, $13,000. Put into context, the age pension in that same period of time has risen $8,000.
Okay.
Right? So the Commonwealth Government age pension. So you're still short if you've only got that amount of income.
If you're only on the pension. And by the way, several pensions are increasing this weekend, aren't they? Including the age pension?
Correct. Age pension as well.
I see that you're going to, if you're a single, for example, receive an extra $29.70 a fortnight. The pension will go up $44.80 for couples combined. Is that enough?
Well, it's not really for a lot of people. So what you're trying to do in this sort of scenario as well is to say, well, you're entitled to a part age pension and you're funding yourself with the rest. Right? So basically, a full age pension for a couple is approximately $45,000 a year.
Okay.
That's a lot short.
That's short of the 75K they reckon you need.
Correct. So if you basically don't have that, are you having a comfortable retirement? That's the issue.
And then if you don't own your own home on top of that,
that's putting you really behind the eight ball. Very
even
difficult.
More. So how many people would be facing that situation where they aren't comfortably retired?
Hundreds of thousands of people in the community would be in that sort of scenario. So it's very problematic as a society that we don't actually have as much funding for these sorts of things. But because it's really a case of the federal government is funding the age pension, there's only so much money to go around.
Okay, so what does this mean and what do you do about it, Phil?
Righto. What it basically means is that you've got to actually try and have a scenario planning into the future of having enough income in retirement to have this comfortable retirement that you're aspiring to. If you can own your own home, wonderful. If you can't, what do you do? You've basically got to sort of look at what you're spending your money on and seeing if you are, I suppose, on the income side of things, getting everything you're entitled to. The federal government will give you, obviously, the age pension at those levels. If you get that pension, you automatically get the pension concession card. That's good. If you don't qualify for that, there are other Commonwealth Seniors healthcare cards and things of that nature as well, which will give you discounts on pharmaceuticals, healthcare costs, but also government rates and things like that as well. So you've got to make sure that you're actually getting everything you're entitled to and where's your income coming from.
Okay, so considering people who right now are retired and not very comfortably, getting the most out of what you're entitled to is a good thing to do. Obviously, you could meet with a financial planner to sit down and come up with your own individual plan, and clearly we are talking in general terms here, Phil.
Very
this
much
is
so.
Not personalised financial advice, but Phil McGann is with you. Phil is a financial planner with Claritude Financial Planning. What else could you, because we will talk about planning in a moment, but what else could you do right now, Phil?
Right, so what you can do, so that's on the income side of things, making sure you're getting everything you're entitled to. If you are part funded by the federal government as a part age pensioner, but you're funding yourself from superannuation, are you getting the best returns you can get? Are you getting the best return on your investments, whether they're in super or not? Interest rates, those sorts of ideas, trying to sort of squeeze as much out of the income side as you can. And then you look at what your expenses are and trying to sort of see what you're spending your money on. Can you do it a different way? And this is not any dissimilar to everyone else in the society as well. We're all spending more, or we're seeing cost of living rising. bit more problematic for someone who's on more of a fixed income.
Yeah,
Your
okay.
ability to earn more income is limited.
Well, and can also affect your pension, can't it?
If you earn more over a certain threshold, and there's thresholds to meet, you may well eat into your age pension. So it's and most retirees know this, and they've worked the figures out. But double check everything and make sure you're trying to get as much as you're entitled to.
Okay.
And trying to get squeeze as much out of your budget as possible.
Okay, Phil, and really quickly, if you are planning on retiring, you're not retired yet, but you're planning on it, in view of the fact that it costs $13,000 more today than it did 5 years ago to have a comfortable retirement, what steps do you take now?
But you should try and build up your nest egg in retirement whilst you're still working. Salary sacrifice into super, put other investments in place if possible, pay down debts as much as you can. There's a big cohort of people entering retirement with a mortgage still. That's problematic. But look, the good news for the younger people listening is down the track, people who are in their prime of their working life, in their 30s and 40s, you're going to benefit from having full superannuation for your entire working lives at 12%. A lot of people in the retiree cohort now didn't actually have super for their whole life, and they're only getting 3, 4, 5%. Right. So from that point of view, it's a positive. It's just in between times at the moment.
Phil McGann, this isn't the last time we were talking about this, I'm sure. Thank you very much for your time and insight this afternoon.
No problems, Kat.